Hi everyone! I wanted to create a video today to help people have an expanded understanding of how to use meditation. Meditation really can be used to get you from any feeling, any emotion, any state or way of being to a new state or way of being, whatever your goal is. We can use the many different forms of meditation and mindfulness to get us from point A to point B. So it is such a great overall tool to help us, yes, during stressful times, maybe even to calm down during happy times. We can use it for so many different things. Generally people talk about using meditation or mindfulness skills to help with the easing of anxiety or to quiet a busy mind or let go of stress. It is certainly a very, very helpful tool in that way. And there's lots of ways to do it. Many people will ask me, how do I do this? Do I sit on the floor? Should I lay down? Should I close my eyes? And the truth is, yes. So much of this is it's like exercise. It's like any other type of self-care. What works for me isn't necessarily what's going to work for you. What works for that person over there is not how you have to do it. Meditation can take place on the floor, on your couch, in your bed, outside, walking around. There's so many ways to do it. And as I talk through here, I just want you to be thinking about the idea that this tool it doesn't have to be so serious. I want to encourage people, go and have fun, play around with things a little bit. Try different things out, see how it feels. What do you like? Explore. There's no right or wrong. There's no being perfect at it. There's no failing at it either. Any way you attack it, any way you play with it, and you find some joy or you find some usefulness is perfect. So when it comes to using meditation or mindfulness to help with the easing of anxiety, quiet the mind, de-stress, all those things, I'll give you a couple of ideas of what I like to do and what I see a lot of people like to do so that you have a place to start if you haven't started or if you want to explore some new things. There are lots of apps out there that are very, very helpful, and I highly recommend them because it helps to give you a focal point, a little bit of direction, a little bit of guidance. My personal favorite is Insight Timer. I recommend it to pretty much everyone who crosses my path. I love it for many, many reasons. When we use an app, we can find things like guided meditation where somebody is talking and so we have something to focus on. And the goal is to bring our mind back from thinking about the grocery list or the stressors or whatever and just gently reminding ourselves, listen in, follow follow the words. That can be very helpful. I think especially if you're new to meditation, guided meditation is very, very useful. So in most of the apps, you can search up what you're looking for. So if you're looking for anxiety relief or sleep, you can often search those things up and find some guided meditations for that. Within the apps, you can also use the music. There is soothing music, music that is dialed in to open up specific chakras. There's music that is specific to certain moods and things like that as well. So that's there for you also. I personally love doing some visualizations, and this is one of those places where once you get comfortable, you can really play with what works for you. What one person is drawn to is not going to be the same because we all have certain things that are interesting to us or things that we can imagine. Visualizations that I might use in order to find a calm within myself or to bring myself to sleep, and I've done this many, many times, would be to visualize that when I'm breathing in white, calm light. And when I'm breathing out, I'm usually breathing out some sort of dark stress, that sort of thing. So it's breathing in the calm and exhaling the worry. Breathing in the peace and exhaling, the anxiety, things like that. There's lots of different ways that you can use visualization. And again, you might get some ideas, little pieces of a guided imagery that you want to expand on in your own practice too. So there's other ways to use meditation also. It's not just about bringing yourself from an elevated state down to a calmer state. We can also use meditation in order to bring our energy up. Maybe we're struggling with energy, we're feeling exhausted, we're doubting our ability to get through the day, you know, we had a hard night's sleep, or you know, we're just feeling overwhelmed. We can use meditation to generate energy. For me, I'm very connected to the chakra system, which is the energy system that runs along our body. So often when I need to find energy, I will do a meditation where I am usually sitting up, because I don't want to lay down. I want to be, you know, sitting up, getting the blood flowing. And I will often visualize a big bright sun in my third chakra in the solar plexus, which is like right above your belly button in your stomach. And that can be very helpful for me anyway. Also, you can listen to energizing music. You can, and when I say that, I don't mean maybe stuff you hear on the radio, but again, within the meditation apps, you can often find music that is more elevated and more stimulating, I guess. And so you can use that. Another really cool thing to do with meditation that lots of people don't think about is that movement is meditation. Moving meditation is a great tool to connect to, especially when we're trying to connect to our power, connect to our energy, connect to our intention, and create clarity around that. Oftentimes what I'll think about is connecting movement with breath. When we breathe deep, that helps us to feel energized. We get oxygen in the body, and so we're breathing while we move. Yes, this definitely sounds like yoga, right? And it can be. If you're comfortable with yoga, that's a great way. There are certain poses, inversions, things like that, that are energy generating poses, and so you can pull that in. Or if you're not comfortable with yoga, you don't know much about it, feel free just to get on the floor and do some stretching, whatever it is that feels good, and connect breath with movement. And when your brain is wandering other places, again, gently bring it back to, you know, the intention that you have of connecting breath with movement and staying very focused here. You know, taking a walk can also be a mindful activity if your intention is to make it mindful, meaning your intention isn't to go out there and think about what you're going to cook for dinner. Your intention is to go out there and think thoughts about, I'm walking and bringing energy into my body. I'm bringing the fresh air. Fresh air is energy in my body, things like that. Using the thoughts to create the state that you want. And of course, meditation can be very helpful to move past loneliness. You know, loneliness is something that can strike for anybody, whether you live alone or not, whether there are people around you or not. Some meditations that can be very helpful are to focus on gratitude. And when we focus on gratitude, one thing that might come up is the people in our lives that we're grateful for. That then can kind of bring us into a meditation about visualizing our loved ones, visualizing connection with our loved ones, trying to generate that feeling of connection. So often if we visualize those people who matter in our life, we will start to feel the connection, and that is the opposite of the loneliness, right? Also, you know, doing some meditating on your connection to God or spirit, whatever it is for you, should you happen to have a spiritual practice in your life. It's that reminder that actually you are not alone, right? So that's a good one. Walking meditation can be helpful with overcoming loneliness and moving out of it if you bring in the intention of walking and noticing other living things, right? And so this can be animals, this can be people. It doesn't mean that you're going to stop and chat with people, which of course you can if you want to, but that's going to pull you out of your mindful practice. But it's about walking and just in being intentional about noticing there are animals around you. There is life around you. You are not solo here on this earth. You may notice that, yes, there are other people walking. And although they are not, you know, people that you know personally, it's that connection to humanity. And again, that you are not a lone soldier walking this earth. There's an array of difficult emotions that many of us, our first reaction is to want to make them just go away. So these types of emotions that I'm speaking about are sadness, grief, fear, you know, there's other ones too, but those are the three that are coming up for me right now. And if we're stuck in feeling this way, if it's coming up for us and we don't want to be there, we want to be in a state of peace, we want to be in a state of relaxation, in a state of joy, whatever it is, use meditation to move through the emotions. This doesn't mean ignore them. It means use meditation and mindfulness to actually sit with them. So what I often say to people is, learn that it's okay. You're going to be okay if you sit with your emotions. Allow yourself to feel the grief, feel the sadness in your body. When you notice where you feel it in your body, you can then start a visualization practice of breathing into it. So now, instead of being in denial of it, you're connecting to it and you're owning it and you're accepting it. And then you start breathing into it. And as you breathe into it, you can start to visualize a healing energy coming in and then visualize that difficult emotion expelling from your body. So moving through it, meaning you address it, you take it head on, you understand where it lives in your body, and then you use visualization in order to move past and move through. Other mindful activities that are very useful in moving past difficult emotions are journaling or writing of any kind, and also, creative outlets, artistic opportunities such as drawing, writing, painting, creating sculptures, whatever it is. When we use a creative outlet, we might find that we can become very focused on the way that these emotions are appearing again inside our body and inside our mind, and we can use this creativity to put it outside of ourselves. When we put something outside of ourselves, we allow ourselves to look at it objectively, and then maybe we can make peace with it and move on from it. So, there are so many ways to meditate. Painting is meditating. Walking can be meditating. Even running can be a meditation. I have certainly done this myself as a runner myself. I have, talked with other clients and other runners about how we can use, more physical activities to change our state, right? We bring intention to it, that this is a mantra maybe that I'm going to focus on, or this is a visualization that I'm focusing on while my body goes through this rhythmic motion. There are so many ways to do this. So again, just to kind of recap, we can use meditation, mindfulness to get ourselves to any positive state. No matter what the challenge is, we can get ourselves to that positive state that we want to be in. We can be creative. We can have fun with it. There is no right or wrong way, and there is no failing at this. We just keep trying. If one thing doesn't work, try something else. All right, guys, I hope that you find this helpful, and know that you can always reach out to me if you have any questions or you would like for me to expand on any one thing that I said in the future. Okay, be well.